Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Doing very well, just off the back of a really great team meeting, as you know.
It's awesome.
Just so great to have everybody in there and all the different time zones and all the rest of it. It's just great. And we get it a lot, right? After those team meetings with the guys messaging in with loads of positive comment. I say that it doesn't really do it justice because they always say as well, these are experienced guys, right? Guys in the 50s, mid to late 40s who have been part of various teams in the past. It's always a real compliment when they say they've never been part of anything like this before. I just find that, I don't know, it's heartwarming for me. I really like it. And that sounds a little bit soft, but you get the gist. It's just great to know that we've got a team there that's so focused and committed to serving the men whilst also bettering themselves. It's awesome.
Yeah, when you say, so you're saying a lot of things that someone listening to this probably doesn't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to expand upon it because I was just there. They've never been a part of something like this. What Tim means, guys, is, during our team meetings, we do typical things that you would do during a team meeting, right? We do have L10s and things like that. We're looking at KPIs, but we also go through, what's going on in everybody's lives, right? We catch up with everybody. And then we take people through exercises that we do at the Powerful Man, and stuff that's a little bit more advanced perhaps, or just different that people may not have experienced, or just timely exercises. And we look at those. We have on our team of coaches, we have expert business consultants, we have, our finance department, all of these people in there. And, as Tim said, the positive comments are really great because people say, I've never been led like this. I've never been involved in a business or movement that not only handles the quote unquote business items, but then also takes such good care of their staff where you can actually connect. And, you have to go outside of the business to some kind of retreat to achieve that. And that's not the case. We talk about the Powerful Man as a movement so often because it is. It's not about having flashy cars and all that BS that, that a lot of people market. It's really about going deep, right? And being a powerful man going through. So it was a very impactful meeting. It was fun. There's a lot of trash talking too, which I always love and enjoy.
20 minutes.
I mean, that's the different shades, right? I think a lot of people forget that as being a man. I think when people think about personal development, right? You got business development, which I love, and personal development, which I love, but it doesn't mean you have to be some kind of guru or yogi sitting on a mat all day, meditating for 6 hours and patchouli oil and any of that stuff in your hair or what have you. You can talk trash like you do in the locker room talk. We did a lot of that in the meeting, and then you can go deep, right? Guys talking about what they want for their families, and people talking about the chaos around them that you're feeling with COVID, like different aspects of what it means to be a well-developed, powerful human. And I say that because we have a couple women on the team that come in as well. But a powerful man is you still get to be masculine, athlete. One guy's, expert in Krav Maga, right? Yet still you can have the other sides of those coins, right? You can have it all. And the way I describe it to people, Tim, was, it's like when you're a kid, they have crayons, right? You can get, you don't have kids, but when I go out to a restaurant, right, they give you, a lot of times they'll give you a placemat at the restaurant. And a lot of guys know this. That's like a coloring book. And it's got, the typical chicken fingers and a couple little type of menu items. And they give the kids a box of crayons. It's usually got 3, maybe 4 crayons in there, and the kids can color, and it's great. So imagine coloring with those 4 colors, right? And that's the average person, right? And they're excited to have those 4 colors of life. Right. But you can have the whole big 64 box color of crayons with a little sharpener in the back. That's available for you. I don't think most men know that, Tim. And it's great when we get on these calls with our coaches and everybody else, and we're still continuously developing our team, but also ourselves. It's a journey, and it's awesome to see.
Truly is. Truly is.
So what do you think about sharing one of the exercises that we did today?
Yeah, sure. Which one?
Well, we only did one that I recall.
Okay, the final one.
Yeah, the final exercise, going through there with the guys.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys now have a glimpse at how well we prepare for these. Guys, we got the Facebook group rolling and so many other things rocking and rolling going through here. And Tim and I also love doing what we love, right? We practice what we preach. So guys, what I'm going to invite you to do is, if you're not driving or working out right now, I am going to invite that you float your eyes closed for a little bit and get present with the moment. And now if you are, you can still go through this. You can do this in your head, so don't worry about that. But what I want you to do is think about who you are now as a man. And I want you to think about what we teach at the Powerful Man as the 5 territories. That's self, health, wealth, relationships, and business, right? 5 territories. Think of it as you're the powerful wolf, the 5 territories you can travel in, right? 5 unique territories. Now, what I want you to do is pick 2 of those territories. Let's just do 1 relationships. And the second territory, you can pick what you want, right? Again, so you have self, health, wealth, relationships, which you're going to pick, and business. So pick relationships and then pick one other one. And I want you to fast forward for 6 months from now. 6 months from today, what's a goal in each of those areas that you would love to achieve, that you're like, whoa, that'd be awesome. If 6 months from now, you and I are having a beer, a cup of coffee, whatever it is, and you're like, Doug, I crushed it in this relationship. What is it exactly? Be specific. Maybe it's, going from sleeping on the couch to having sex 3, 5, 6, 12 times a week. I don't know what it is for you, right? Maybe it's rekindling some friendships, right? There's a lot of us men, right? As we get older, our friendships diminish, right? We change. We kind of go into our own cave. Maybe it's having 5 solid guys that you could turn to, or your 2 a.m. friend. Go back to that podcast. And then I want you to pick another territory, whatever it is. Business, then you can come up with a KPI there. Whatever it is, what is your goal in that other territory? And I want you to close your eyes. I want you to come up with those things. If you haven't come up with it right now, I want you to hit pause on this and come back till you do. And it's important, right? All right, so I'm assuming you've done it. So if you're just listening, just listen to it, then you're not doing the exercise. And so I'm mad at you. You get a little putting you in timeout. So what we're going to do is, you've got those 2 areas there for you. Now what I want you to do is imagine that I show up to your house, right? And this is going to get grotesque here for a little bit, guys. So I apologize for this analogy. Tim's over there like, oh no, you're going to say that? But this is how I coach it. So I'm just going to do it. Imagine I show up to your house and you say, Doug, this is my goal. In 6 months, I'm going to hit this goal. But I show up to your house and I put a gun to your head. I say, you got 30 days to get this done or you're going to die. Can you hit that goal? Yes or no? Now, Tim, you and I both know it's very rare that answer is no. Some guys might say no. No, I can't do it. It's unrealistic. I can't write a book in 30 days. The next question then will be, if you say no, has anybody else done it? Yes or no? And if they have, that means you can do it. You have the ability to listen or watch this podcast episode, whether you're watching us on YouTube, website, or you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, wherever it may be. If you have that ability, you have the access to that technology, chances are you can hit your goal in that 30 days. So I have a gun to your head. Now I want you to get a piece of paper out and tell me how you're going to do it. How are you going to do it? And I want you to list everything that comes to your mind out there, everything that comes. And what we're going to do is we're going to invoke the 80-20 rule, right? What are the 20% of the things that you could do that get you 80% results? And write those things down. Can you double down there? And Tim, I was sharing a story earlier that when I used to do this, I used to do this just for myself. If I had a gun to my head, and guys, the way I took it a step deeper is, what if someone showed up to my house, took my family away, and said, we're going to kill your family if you don't achieve this? Whoa. I know, again, I told you it's a grotesque example, but I put myself in that state. Then all of a sudden, goals that I had 6 months from now, easily achievable within 30 days. Like, man, I would do these things. I would do this. I'd get on the phone, Tim, and I'd call that client. In fact, I would not only call that client, Tim, I'd be on the phone 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours a day making phone calls, making sales. Right. And when I was done with that, I'd drink a cup of coffee and I'd start making more calls because I need to make that revenue to save my family. Right. Or I need to do the work to save my relationship. And when we get ourselves butted up against a challenge like this, men, we get ourselves in there, we compress that time, we throw out our ego, right? The idea of 6 months ahead of us is too far ahead. And our ego allows us to dream and think, I got enough time to get that, right? We don't start. I mean, come on, how many of you guys at university, you waited till the week before the test to start studying? You didn't start studying months ahead of time. That's BS. I know you guys. You didn't do that. It was a week before, in your apartment and your flat was probably the cleanest it's ever been because you're procrastinating. I get it. That was certainly mine. My roommates and I would clean on finals week all the time. It was like the only time our place was super clean, right? Because we put things too far in the future, right? So if I said, for example, hey, what's your goal? And you said, Doug, well, I want to rekindle with my wife in 6 months. That would be amazing, right? You're going to wait. You're saying, it's the holidays, so I'm not going to take the activation method or do the triad training or whatever it may be. Then if January comes, January's going to be good, right? Yeah. I'm going to do it in January, Doug. I'm going to do it in January. When January gets here, it's like, it's a new year. February, it's Valentine's Day. That's really when I'm going to start turning it on. And then February comes and goes. It just wasn't the right time. Spring, love is in the air in spring. Doug, March. And March comes and goes. You get the idea. Time always goes. We always think we have more time than we have. So going back to my analogy, and I'm crazy, I certainly admit that, and I love it. But when I want to get myself, if I have a goal that I want to achieve, let's just say I want to get in the best shape of my life. And it got to be more defined than that. That's not a good one. Maybe I want to get back to my college run time, like my mile time as an example. Can I do that in 6 months? Whew, that's going to be tough. That is going to be really tough. If somebody kidnapped my family and was going to kill him legitimately, like I'm talking Liam Neeson stuff, right? Kidnap my family, was going to kill him, and I had 30 days to get to that runtime. Could I do it? I think I can. Man, what would I do? Tim, I'd have to change my diet immediately. I'd have to focus on, I'd hire a running coach right away. I'd hire not only a running coach, Tim, I would get the best mile coach in the world. Boom, I'm signing up today. That's not a question. I'm not asking them. I don't care how much it costs. I'm doing it, right? Diet's changing. I'm going to get a chef in here. I'm going to get massages booked regularly because I'm going to be sore, man. I haven't ran a timed mile in years. I'm going to be sore. And my recovery is going to be on point, right? I'm going to look at supplementing with creatine supplements. I'm going to get a nutritionist in here to help me with my supplement routine. I'm going to get one of those Olympic coaches that's coming in here and that's shooting me up with whatever they're shooting me up with because I'm hitting that goal because my family's on the line. But that's the thing is I can do it then. So why not? Now, what can you do without sacrificing? Right? That's a gross example because now I'm sacrificing. Right? But what can I do without sacrificing? What's my 80-20? Well, I can clean up my diet today. Well, why don't I do that? Because it's hard, because I like eating nachos, right? I can start running today. Okay, why wouldn't I do it 6 months from now? I can run next week. By the end of the year, I need to start today. My family's on the line. I can hire a running coach. Why don't I get the best running coach today? And so, guys, the idea here is taking action. Our ego, right? Our ego protects us by allowing us to think we have more time than we really have. So when you look at these two items that you've picked, right? And you can pick more than two, but for this example, we're picking two. One in relationships, right? Because a lot of our men are struggling in the relationships. And one outside of the relationships. And one of the other 5 territories, self, health, wealth, or business, right? That would be awesome to achieve in 6 months. What would you do if your family was taken away and you couldn't see them? You couldn't have them. Because the reality is, Tim, for some of the guys we talk to, the reality is Their families have been taken away from them. Maybe not full time, right? If you go back and you listen to the podcast where Chris opens up about his kids have been taken away from him more than part time. His family was taken away from him 60% of his life, so to speak. And I have nothing but massive respect for Chris. The guy is amazing. But the truth is, he thought he had more time. When his family was taken away. What if someone came to him before this and said, Chris, 30 days, your family's going to be taken away from you if you don't make these changes. And he believed him. Would Chris made massive changes? You bet. You bet. He would have found the powerful man. He would have taken the activation method course, right? And he wouldn't have waited till next week, till next month, till next year. He would have done it today. No questions. I don't care about the price, right? We have guys that come into the program, just an example. I don't care what the price is. I know what the results have given hundreds of other men because I've talked to some of them. I want in and I want in as soon as possible. I'll pay extra if you have to bump somebody. We've had people go in and say, look, I need this now. My family's life is on the line. My relationship is on the line. And that's a difference, right? That's the difference between running a mile 6 months from now, which, yeah, it's going to be tough, but I could do it, and putting it off to my family's on the line if I don't run it goes up under a 5-minute mile. Oh, crap. I'm running like a 14-minute mile right now. I got some work to do. I got to go. It's game time. I'm getting the best coach. I'm getting the best diet. I'm getting my stuff in order. It's game time. So guys, compressing time is a skill set. It's a methodology that you can use to get the results you truly want. It's a way to get yourself to take action. It's a way to see the path. You know, we have people, myself included, that talk about things that we've been talking about for years. We've been talking about getting in shape. We've been talking about salvaging the relationship. We've been talking about wanting more high quality guys like Tim or Arthur or Mark or Chris in our lives, right? To name some of our coaches and advisors. Yet, what do? Next time. I'm not going to go out. It's COVID, right? We come up with excuses. At least I do. So what are your 2 goals that would really excite you in 6 months? That would really excite you if you and I had a beer together and you're like, Doug, I crushed it in this area. What is that? And then if I took your family and went and said, look, you need to do this by 30 days. I want to see your game plan right now in 30 days of how you're going to do this. Your life's on the line. Because the truth is, guys, our lives are on the line. Our lives are on the line. And I'm not trying to be overly dramatic here or negative. This is a positive thing. Imagine what it's going to feel like to crush that goal 30 days from now. So guys, if you're open to playing this game with Tim and I, because Tim's playing it, Tim put out his 2 areas in the call in front of all the men. I mean, wow. Not only just to himself, but he put it out there to everybody. I invite you to do the same.
So, guys, the way I see it, you've got 3 options. Option number 1, you end the podcast and you think, oh yeah, that was great. I feel really great. Load up the next podcast and the cycle continues. Option number 2 is you get out that piece of paper, you start taking action, but then you get sidetracked. Maybe you get sidetracked during the process of writing these down. Maybe it's when you are taking action. Either way, you don't bring it to completion in the way that you know you're capable of doing. Or option number 3, you do this. And Doug said it's a skill set, which it is, and it's a mindset. Because the reality is, guys, you have a choice. You either choose to light the fire inside of yourself and choose to create this, or you choose to have the fire be lit for you, outside of you, whether it's 10 years down the line and your health might be crumbling. 10 years is a long time. A lot can happen. It might change. True. Most people don't. Or maybe it's your wife handing the divorce papers. Divorce day is coming up, literally. First Monday back after the holiday season. That is the one day of the year where lawyers, attorneys, solicitors get the most requests for divorces in the entire year. And 80% of those come from women. And often the women wait until the holiday season is over, until the kids have had time as a family together. At that point, they start the proceedings. Happened to Chris. Because he thought he had more time, like Doug said. Burying his head in the sand. Oh, it's not that bad. She won't leave. Oh, well, I'm just going to figure out this business problem, then I'll get to my relationship. It's very easy to put off the urgency of this until the fire is dropped upon you. But do you want to be a firefighter reacting to this? Reacting to something that's kind of out of your control, that you're not prepared for, that's blindsided you? Or do you want to choose to create this level of urgency? And the reality is, once you get over the initial inertia, guys, you're going to find a groove and you're going to find a flow, and it just becomes who you are. Just becomes your way of operating. And in that place, just imagine the speed at which you'd move out. Just imagine how great it'd feel taking the imperfect action. Just boom, 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 boom. Just putting those running trainers on and getting out there and doing it. And getting back and then just booking in the massage. Just taking imperfect action, right? Fumble, just get going. So you really have a choice there, guys. So I love the exercise, Doug. The team received it really well, obviously, naturally. And I hope you guys do too.
Awesome, gentlemen. Thanks for being with us as always. Guys, as usual, if this is your first time being exposed to the podcast, please go over to thepowerfulman.com/bonus, get your training. And if you've been listening to us and you haven't gotten the Reignite cheat sheet, guys, just take action. It's awesome. It's helpful, as many, many, many men have attested to. And guys, if you've been with us for a while, my first thing is please take action. That's why we do this, right? We're doing this to help you guys. Second thing is I would love it personally, and I'll say Tim would too, if you just leave us a rating, right? If you watch this on YouTube, or if you're actually, iTunes or whatever, just leave us a rating, an honest one that you feel is acceptable. And that helps other men, other men like you find us. And lastly, share it. Share this with guys like yourself. All right, gentlemen, as always, take some action. We'll see you next time on The Powerful Man Show.